IFMS, an overview. What is IFMS? IFMS stands for an Integrated Financial Management System. But what does this mean? This simply means a system that can be relied upon to return the current figures for accounting functions. From tracing a payment from requisition through to delivery of goods, and finally the release of the supplier's cheque. Or another view may be the setup and maintenance of the approved budget. The flow of funding to warrants, the CFCs being issued, and finally the capturing of the actual expenditure. Real-time business intelligence. If we do a general ledger inquiry, this functionality becomes clear. This is the standard entry point into IFMS. The top dark blue toolbar shows the current workplace, GL Inquiry Officer. This toolbar is for the Windows functions. The third toolbar displays locations within all the user's roles. These tabs are used to navigate the current workplace, and this user is displaying some standard alerts and the IFMS team's management dashboard, which will be discussed in more detail later. We will look at the Inquiries tab, which opens up a new page showing this role's inquiries, which then leads us to the General Ledger inquiry. The IFMS has remembered the last query I accessed, and this is the ledger we will use to interrogate the data. For this example, we will look at account number 10001 000 00 25 25 00. After clicking Retrieve, the balance of the account is returned and is 19.5 million kina with 10 million kina in commitments. If we click on Transaction Listing, we see the transactions that make up that amount. Detailed here are the individual transactions that total the amount on the previous page. We can see there are two identical transactions for 5 million kina on the same date. So if we click Transaction Details, we see more information. This opens up a new page, and we can indeed see that it was a transfer to BSP, and scrolling down the page we can actually find out who raised the journal, who authorised it, and who posted it. To actually see the document as it was entered from the user's perspective at the time of entry, we click on Document Reconstruction, and now displayed is the journal as entered by the accounting staff. This type of interrogation can be done against an entire ledger, agency, and of course the accounts payable. If we know we need to pay a company with data in the name, we can do an accounts payable inquiry. The company has data in the name, so we enter the name data. This returns all the companies matching the criteria, and we can select Data Nets Limited and click on Transaction Listing. This will now display all of the transactions that we have with this company. We can now see all of the transactions, including the one that is outstanding and the invoice we wish to pay. By doing a document reconstruction, this opens up a new page which gives us our account number, the invoice number, a brief description, the purchase order, and the actual account where the amount was expensed, all displayed on one screen. All information is available and everything is transparent. Back at the transaction listing page, more functionality is available. By clicking on the light blue column header, all the data in the table is sorted by that column, in this case amounts. By simply dragging up the header, all of the data in the table becomes grouped by that amount. This can also be done on date, on any field in the table. For this example, we will look for a narrative for laptop, so we bring the narrative up and we can drill down, and here we can see that we have purchased a number of laptops. This functionality is available in all IFMS screens. Every transaction can be interrogated and is transparent. The reporting functions. Any and all data held within IFMS can be reproduced in a report and formatted the way the business requires. Every data analytical tool currently in use can be created as a report. There is no longer any need for data dumps from legacy systems that need to be sorted, collated, summed, manipulated. Any report can be created to return all the data within IFMS, from looking at accounts and transactions, account totals, account details, commitments, perhaps the accounts payable or assets, bank reconciliation or budgeting, all the way down to the lowest level of the actual general ledger. The general ledger details, attachments to every single journal, commitments and transactions. Here we have a simple example. This is a report that looks at 10 random appropriation levels, groups them by agency, and then graphs 4 of those appropriations. It is in essence a meaningless report, but it is here just to show the functionality available in Excel embedded in IFMS. Drilling down on agency 202, the 2 appropriations relating to that total are displayed. Drilling down further, the economic items are now displayed. A further drill down reveals the full account stream that sums all the way to the total of the report. A transactional view is displayed by clicking on the amount, and here the data from the actual transactions as entered is displayed. Every transaction is transparent and available. By clicking back, the same drill down can be done on any other line. All information is available, every transaction is transparent. Every function, formula, graph, or any other management reporting tool used in Excel is still available in IFMS. There is no loss of functionality over Excel. It is only enhanced. Reporting and the distributed processor. Reports can be automated to run at any time, and if required, scheduled. If there is a report that is required, the IFMS system can run it offline and deliver it to a user's personal reports folder. This process utilizes the distributed processor. Clicking on this hyperlink opens up the scheduler. Displayed is the user and the current queue. Under Start Parameters, the job will be scheduled to run at 8 PM or 2000 hours. If the job is required on an ongoing basis, we can set it up as a reoccurring job. There are many selections available. We can select the exact day of the week, perhaps a Tuesday, or which relative day of the month. We can run it every 7th day of the month, or perhaps every 7th working day, counting from the start as opposed to from the end of the month. We can run it on the 30th of every month. The combinations are endless to ensure the correct report is delivered on the correct day. We could run it every Monday and every Friday, daily, hourly, every minute, even every second. To be practical, we will choose every Monday. By submitting the request to the server, the distributed processor will now run that job at 8 PM on every Monday. There is a small notification at the bottom left-hand side of the screen to confirm that the job has indeed been set up, and on the bottom right-hand side of the screen a little circle begins to spin. Double-clicking on it will open up the queue and you'll see the job status. There is no need to monitor the job. Once the job is complete, the IFMS will notify the user by displaying what is known as toast in the bottom right-hand side of the screen. By clicking on the hyperlink, we are taken directly to the report that has been run in the background but delivered to our desktop. If this toast was not seen, the report is still delivered to the user's My Reports and Files area. By clicking on the hyperlink, all the reports delivered are listed within this tab. By clicking on the report, it will be opened and the report is saved on the IFMS server. In conclusion, the IFMS delivers inquiries detail, reporting flexibility, which delivers accessibility and transparency on every transaction.